Most of you have probably read some version of this explanation in various news articles and also in various news channels already. As you can imagine, it does not really provide any clarification to anyone unfamiliar with this sort of jargon. However, there is no getting around these terms. Knowing what all these terms are is both necessary to understand this case and any others that may arise as the bull market draws attention to crypto. Today, I will be giving an in-depth explanation concerning some necessary terms and their usefulness, and I will be stating various reasons why Ripple will come out victorious in the lawsuit. Stick with me till the end to learn more. If this sounds like something of much interest to you, be sure to check out this new video starting now. Hello everyone and welcome to our channel, where we talk about the latest updates on XRP and the cryptocurrency world in general. If this is your first time watching one of our videos, we happily send you a special welcome. We invite you to hit on the notification bell so you never miss another video. We are announcing that this channel has a giveaway of 200 XRP. To stand the chance of participating, all you have to do is simply subscribe to the channel, like this video and comment with the hashtag XRP, and the winner will be announced on April 15th. The cryptocurrency space was hit with a bombshell on December 21st when news broke that the SEC would be suing Ripple, the company behind XRP. The next day, the SEC officially announced their lawsuit against not just Ripple, but also Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse and Ripple co-founder Chris Larsen. The Ripple lawsuit is important because if the SEC wins their case, XRP will be treated as a security and not a currency in the United States. This will broaden the definition of the Howey test, setting a legal precedent that could result in other similar cryptocurrencies also being classified as securities. So, what are securities? In plain English, a security is anything that represents a portion of some entity's value. This includes things such as stocks in a company or government debt via government bonds. Securities are subject to much stricter regulations than currencies or commodities, think gold, oil, food, etc. In the United States, securities regulations are set and upheld by the Securities and Exchange Commission. Many cryptocurrencies are in fact securities, namely those that were sold to investors by means of an initial coin offering, ICO. This is because most cryptocurrency projects with ICOs do not actually have a functioning product at the outset. As such, the tokens they sell become a sort of promise to the people who purchase them, a promise that the company will create whatever technology they claim to be building, thus giving value to the tokens they issued. While these tokens are not a share in a stock per se, they have similar properties and are therefore considered securities under US law. This is why many ICOs tend to be off-limits to investors in the United States, Canada, and a few other countries that have strict securities laws or are illegal to sell things to, for example North Korea. For most, it is simply not worth jumping through the hoops required to sell the token to US investors, much less convince US-based cryptocurrency exchanges to list them for trading. One of the core claims of the SEC suit against Ripple is that XRP is a security, specifically an unregistered security, that has been illegally sold by Ripple since it was first distributed to investors almost 8 years ago. Many consider this security designation to be a stretch and would significantly broaden the definitions found in the Howey test. What is the Howey test? The Howey test is what the SEC and other relevant regulatory bodies use to determine whether an asset is a security or not. The Howey test boils down to one simple question: is the monetary value of the asset being invested in dependent on the efforts of a third party? If you feel you are raising an eyebrow, take a second to consider what makes a stock go up or down. In theory, it is the actions of the company which the stock represents. This means the price action of the asset, the stock, is tied at the hip to the efforts of a third party, the company. While this sort of threshold works for regular assets, you can probably see how it becomes a bit problematic when you start applying it to digital currencies. This is because it is hard to say that a cryptocurrency is not dependent on a third party when many have prolific creators behind them that could arguably influence the price of that asset: Ethereum, Cardano, Litecoin, etc. The argument from the cryptocurrency side is that unlike stocks, the ownership and operation of a network like Bitcoin's is distributed and decentralized. There is technically no single entity behind the project. Even though the XRP network is more centralized than other cryptocurrencies, some have argued it is still decentralized enough to warrant being put in the same legal category as Bitcoin. However, the SEC suit is alleging that XRP is a security based on the internal correspondence and marketing efforts of Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse, and Chris Larsen. All three were aware that XRP was dangerously close to being classified as a security under the Howey test, yet they went on to engage in practices which constitute the efforts of a third party in relation to the value of the asset, XRP. So, what is a legal precedent? Most legal systems around the world make their decisions based on legal precedent. This means that they look at earlier rulings on similar cases, if there are any, to come to a conclusion on a current case. Although there have already been many SEC suits against various cryptocurrency projects, the suit against Ripple is a bit different. As mentioned in the previous section, XRP's designation as a security could come as a consequence of the actions of Ripple and two of its top executives. Some believe that if this happens, it will broaden the threshold of the Howey test enough to make it fair game to go after other cryptocurrencies similar to XRP. Please, do not forget to subscribe to our channel and also hit that notification bell to be the first person to get more updates about the latest happenings as regards to XRP. The XRP cryptocurrency soared on Wednesday as investors grew hopeful that Ripple, a company closely associated with the token, would win its prolonged legal battle with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission. The token was worth around 45 cents at about 8 a.m. Eastern Time, according to data from CoinGecko, rose over 1% in the last 24 hours. It was earlier trading up as much as 20% this week. Traders pointed to a supplemental notice submitted by Ripple on Monday which pointed to a ruling in a separate case concerning Binance's U.S. rescue plan for collapsed crypto lender Voyager Digital. Under the plan, Binance's U.S. unit was to buy all of Voyager's assets, including its native VGX token, in a $1.3 billion deal. The SEC rejected the plan, arguing VGX was akin to a security and calling Binance an unregistered securities exchange, according to the notice from Ripple. However, the judge rejected the SEC's objections and approved the bankruptcy plan, citing what he called the vagueness of the regulator's arguments and stating the SEC had not offered any guidance at all as to just what it was that the debtors allegedly were supposed to prove to demonstrate VGX was not a security, according to the Ripple letter. The SEC wasn't immediately available for comment when contacted by CNBC. The SEC accuses Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse and co-founder Chris Larsen of breaching U.S. securities laws by selling XRP without first registering it with the regulator. Ripple contests the SEC's allegations, maintaining the view that XRP should be considered a digital currency rather than a security. Monica Long, president of Ripple, told CNBC Wednesday morning that she was very hopeful about achieving a positive resolution to the SEC battle, adding she thinks it will reach a conclusion sometime this year. Long said she thinks it's very unlikely the judge will rule in favor of the SEC, considering by our view both the facts and the law are on our side. If XRP were to be deemed a security, it could have huge ramifications for the digital currency industry. Floods of tokens may end up falling into the same category, making them regulated financial instruments that would need SEC supervision. Ripple and the SEC have now both submitted their final round of briefs seeking a summary judgment to the case. The case now rests with Judge Annalisa Torres of the Southern District of New York, who is expected to issue a verdict soon. It is not clear when she will make her decision. However, some crypto investors believe an outcome will arrive in the coming days. XRP is being bolstered by a potential positive outcome in the SEC case, Vijay Iyer, vice president of international at crypto exchange Luno, told CNBC via email Wednesday. The token, which is the sixth largest globally by market value, is also being boosted by the broader crypto market sentiment, Iyer said. Now to our main focus for the day, are we going to see regulations by enforcement? I will also be stating basic reasons why Ripple will come out victorious in the lawsuit. Ripple's long said she believed the SEC was regulating through enforcement rather than establishing clear regulations for the sector. Europe is more advanced in its treatment of crypto, she argued, highlighting the block's markets and crypto assets regulation as an example. We're seeing action through enforcement versus setting clear rules and regulation, which is what all of us in the industry desire, Long said. Europe is really emerging as a leader in setting really clear regulations and rules that allow crypto companies and also traditional finance to embrace crypto. For its part, the SEC has said it wants all crypto companies and projects to bring their operations into compliance with federal securities laws. In an interview with CNBC in February after a crackdown on the crypto exchange Kraken, SEC Chair Gary Gensler said, "There's a handful of tokens that have actually registered. The intermediaries, the storefronts if you wish, the casinos that people are investing in and investing at need to properly comply and disentangle these bundled products." If this field has any chance of survival and success, it's time-tested rules and laws to protect the investing public. In recent weeks, the regulator has taken aim at numerous crypto firms alleging they are engaged in illegal securities offerings. Stablecoin issuer Paxos said the SEC served it with a notice threatening legal action over claims that BUSD, the native stablecoin of crypto exchange Binance, was a security that should have been registered with the regulator. The regulator also hit crypto lender Genesis and exchange Gemini with charges alleging a high-yield investment product offered by the two companies should have been treated as a security. On December 22nd, Ripple released a summary of their Wells submission. This is a document which is given to the SEC in response to something called the Wells Notice, a document which explains that the SEC will be seeking legal action and on what grounds it is doing so. The Wells submission gave the impression that the SEC suit was baseless and that it would be a slam-dunk win for Ripple if the SEC had the gall to go forward with it. This was until the SEC released the full suit a few hours later. It contained some very explicit details which has since cast doubt on whether Ripple can actually win this case, consequently sending XRP to the shadow realm. So we come to the end of this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, please make sure you like the video, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. This really helps me with the YouTube algorithm. Also, you can help enlighten others just like you have been enlightened by sharing this video to as many people as possible. Let's get this news everywhere, guys. If you are a true cryptocurrency fan, don't miss any of our content. See you tomorrow to talk about the latest news that concerns us all as a community.